Hello, comrades. Welcome back to Jacob's Custom Gunworks. Today I have a Smith & Wesson 22A-1. This was the very first 22 rimfire pistol I ever purchased, and I've had it for a number of years. I walked into a gun store, and they had one on a sale. I think it was an anniversary sale at the time, and I ended up purchasing this. I think this model has now been replaced with the Smith & Wesson Victory, but very, very cool gun, very unique gun, and quite a tack driver. So let's go over it here a little quick. It did not come with this NC Star 2-power scope. I added that later. It does have a rail, so you can attach different sighting devices if you choose to do so, like a red dot or like I have a scope on here or something of that nature. I chose this scope, honestly, because it was laying around, and two, because it's fun, and I honestly call this I refer to this quite affectionately as my Star Wars blaster. It's just a lot of fun to shoot. The front sight, I did end up painting when I got it because they're blacked out and they're kind of a pain in the ass to see when you're shooting in an indoor range or sometimes even in an outdoor range with an enclosure, so that helped me immensely. It is a bull barrel, and it is quite dirty because I just shot the living daylights out of it over the weekend. The slide, as you can see, is kind of unique. With the scope, it's kind of a pain in the ass to get to it, but I've learned to just deal with it over the last few years. The magazine release is really neat. It's actually built into the grip, and it's right here. If you have bigger mitts, it could be interesting to actuate that, but it's not too bad. I don't have giant mitts, so it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I figured I'd show you this real quick because it's just been a really neat little tack driver in my collection. So my example here, funny story with it, I actually never shot match-grade ammunition out of this when I purchased it. I bought the cheapest stuff I could find, and at the time happened to be Remington game loads, which I believe now are called golden bullets. But anyway, when I bought it, the gun shot fantastic with that ammunition, so I never really thought anything about it. Well, years later, I'm working in retail, and we had a ton of match-grade Ely stuff laying around, and my boss looked at me and said, well, why don't you take this to the shoot you're going to tonight and see if it shoots worth the shit? That way we can tell customers about it. I said, yeah, sure. So, went to this match. During the sight-in process, because of course I hadn't shot this ammunition, I need to see where it was, I couldn't get better than an 8-inch group at, I think we were shooting 50 feet, which was freaking terrible for this gun. I was used to this gun shooting anywhere from quarter to dime-size groups on any given day with open sights. So I switched back to the Remington game loads that I happen to have with me, and I went right back to that quarter to dime-size pattern. So my particular model likes the cheaper Remington game loads or golden bullets and shoots like a match grade gun should with cheap ammo, which is awesome. So yeah, kind of cool story. Anyway, hoping to get out to the range today. It is rain in the forecast later this afternoon, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, short video. So until next time, comrades.